everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jimmy, and in today's video, I'm going to answer some of the most asked questions, or some of the questions that were so good that even I had those questions when I was over at Samsung Unpacked. Now, I had the pleasure of hanging out with somebody who was a part of the Flip and the Fold design team, so I was able to really pick their brain to really get the correct answers from the correct direct source. The first question that I asked them was, why is there no S Pen support in the Galaxy Z Fold 7? So I had my assumptions as to why, but he gave me a little bit more details on what I bargained for. So first off, he mentioned that it was just the use cases of people using the S Pen. It was such a small percentage. Now, I am somebody who uses my S Pen on my Fold 6, but I'm not really a daily user on it. I don't know if I'm a weekly user, but I'm definitely a monthly user, and that's for if I'm signing some documents, and so I might use it 2 or 3 times a month, and that was what they looked at. They looked at how many people were using it on a daily basis and how many people were using the S Pen on a monthly basis. Based off of that, it was a small percentage. The next thing that made the biggest change for this one and solidified the answer, which was, which would you have? Would you have a better form factor phone, or would you rather have a S Pen? Everybody by a landslide said they would have a better form factor when it comes down to the Fold, which means something that is super thin and light. Now, when it comes down to that, you will have one less layer of display. So the other thing behind that, along with the form factor, is when you take a look at this crease, and I can turn these screens off. The crease on the left is so, apparent. It is something that you can see, especially when the screen is off. And you can also see my fingerprints there, but that's okay. But you can see on the right-hand side that the crease is less apparent in the middle. Maybe some people wanted to have less of a crease on the screen, so having one less display layer helps with that. It especially helps with the thinness of the phone. You can see how much thinner this phone is versus the Fold 6. So you can see the Fold 7 on the right-hand side. Now check this out. If I fold this Galaxy Fold 7 in half, and I put it right next to my Galaxy S25 Ultra, it is the exact same size. So imagine if you have the Galaxy S25 Ultra, imagine the fact that you can still unfold this thing. That is how thin the Galaxy Z Fold 7 is. So there you have it. That is why the Galaxy Z Fold 7 does not have S Pen support. That is because it voted by a landslide that everybody would rather have a thinner, lighter, better form factor Galaxy Z Fold 7 than have S Pen support. Also followed up by the percentage of daily and monthly users of using a S Pen. It also helps with the crease in the center because you have one less display layer, again also making it a little bit more thin. And now for the question for the Galaxy Z Flip 7, which is, why are we using the Exynos processor on the Flip 7 and Flip 7 FE? Now, he gave me a direct and straight to the point answer, so I'll do the exact same thing. I'm not going to have to fill in the blanks on this one because it is common sense. The first reason is because of supply, and the second reason is because of the user of the Flip versus the Fold. Now, if you need a little bit of stuff filled in there, the type of user using a Flip 7 versus a Fold 7 are completely different users. One is a little bit more of a power user, so they would need to have that latest Snapdragon processor inside of there. Now, when it comes down to the Galaxy Z Flip 7, this one has the Exynos 2500 on the inside, and then when it comes down to the FE, it's the 2400. So more than enough power for the user of the Flip 7 and Flip 7 FE. Question number 3 is all about swappable bands. You can see here I've already swapped out some bands right there. I flip-flopped them. So this one is the Galaxy Watch Ultra from 2024. This is the Galaxy Watch Ultra of 2025. And you can see that they are compatible. So if you have any of the watches of the Galaxy Watch Ultra from 2024, and if you happen to go for 2025, your bands do work because the screen size, the body and everything is the exact same. The buttons when it comes down to your bands are the exact same because the buttons for release is right there on the body of the watch. Now, when it comes down to this one, this is just the Galaxy Watch 7. This is nothing too crazy, but you can see here that the release is on the band. And you can see that it has traditional watch band links right inside of here. So any type of a traditional watch band or strap that you can get, and you kind of push a button in, or you pull in the pin and you can push it in. So that is what these work with. Now, I don't have the Watch 8, but I do have the Watch 8 Classic. And you can see that they adopted the same thing that the Ultra is using, which is the release button on the body, which means that this right here is going to be completely different if you owned a Watch 7, at least from the one that I have here. I don't think there's any Watch 7s out there, any models that has this. If they do, then you might be in luck. You just want to make sure that they are the same size of screen. But this right here is the Classic, and this one is using a proprietary type of watch band or strap that you'd probably have to get from Samsung or the third-party companies that have partnered up. But when it comes down to me trying to put this one in there, it just doesn't work. So I also tried this one, which is the Watch 8 Classic, into the Ultra, but it won't work because it is so small. It just wouldn't fit into anything. You just see how much, thinner this one is. So this portion, when I take this off, the inner portion right there is much bigger than this. So yes, when it comes down to the Watch 8 Classic bands, will not go on to the Ultra. But if you own, the bands from 2024 and you want to know if it works on the 2025, it does. I just don't know for sure about the faceplates. I've never purchased a faceplate before, and I completely forgot that they even existed until somebody asked a question. I believe that these should be the same measurements. You can actually do a compare on Samsung.com to see if the screen and everything is the exact same when it comes down to the dimensions for the faceplate to see if it'll work. But when it comes down to the watch bands, they are compatible. Question number 4 was around the brand new features that's a part of the brand new watches, which is, the Watch 8 series and the Ultra 2025, and if those features are coming over to the Galaxy Watch 7 and later models. So I don't know for sure about the later models, but I know for sure the Galaxy Watch 7 will get the majority or bulk or all of these brand new features. It's because it's a thing called Samsung One UI 8 watch. I've already covered this in the past. There is an article on Samsung US that was released on June 16th, and you can read everything that's coming with that Samsung One UI 8 watch, and it's those newest features that was talked about for the Galaxy Watch 8. Now in my past video talking about the differences of these two, those are the differences currently, which is the vascular load, the antioxidant intake, and the running coach. Now if you have beta, you have those features, but as of right now, out of the box and currently today, Watch 7 users not on beta, they don't have those features. But once One UI 8 watch comes out for those watches, then you'll be able to have those new features that these ones were given. Question number 5 was about the bottoms of these two watches here. So the 8 Classic and also the refreshed version of the Ultra. They were asking which one is more round or flat on the bottom. Now, when it comes down to the Galaxy Watch 8 Classic, you can see that the body is flat. So this right here, that is all flat. The only roundness is going to be that biosensor. So the only roundness is the biosensor. The watch on the bottom is flat. When it comes down over into the Ultra, you can see the entire thing is rounded. It's like a whole one big piece. Now, if I was to put both of them, pretty close together here, this is where you can see the difference. So the Galaxy 8 Classic on the top is flat with a little bit of round, which is the biosensor. For the Ultra, the whole thing is just a big butt. The whole thing is just a big hump in the back. So it's round and then it goes to round. The 8 Classic is flat and then goes to round. Question number 6 is which of these watches would be your main daily driver, the Watch 8 series or the Ultra? So I'm going to go with the Galaxy Watch 8 Classic because I like the classic feel, the classic look. I like that it's lighter. It has the physical bezel. It's one of those things where I can fully interact with this device right here and I wouldn't have to always touch the screen. Now, if I want to, tap on a few things just to see some information, that's fine. But I'm not going to have that many fingerprints when it comes down to this screen. When you have the Ultra, you have to interact with the screen with your finger touching this small display all the time, and you will always have fingerprints and your things just going around, swiping around the outside. You can see how dirty that is with all my little fingerprint taps right there. When it comes to this one, it only has like that one little tap right there. So you'll find yourself cleaning this screen a lot less often through the day than you would with this one. So really, it's just the physical bezel. It feels better. It's lighter. I don't know. It just feels like a traditional watch to me. I did love my Ultra from last year of 2024, but after I moved over to the Watch 7, I stayed with it. So I did move last year from this Ultra to Watch 7, and I like it. Now when I have my physical bezel and a little bit larger screen, I like it even more. So the Watch 8 Classic, definitely by a mile. Now, the last thing about these watches here, some people wanted to see the Gemini in action. And so what you're able to do is you can have it done by voice, just by saying, hey, the G word, or you can just press and hold on the top button up over here. Now for this one, it's going to go right inside of Ask Gemini, and then you're able to ask it anything and everything you want to. So if I just want to do something as simple as, give me the latest news stories of today. So it'll use the Google search for it. So here is everything that it talks about. Now, what you can also do is you can bring up or bring down the volume. You can like this, you can dislike it, or you can talk more. So let's say that this was not loud enough. I can say, can you turn this device volume to 100%? So it went through the utilities, and now it did all the way up to 100%. So that is how Gemini works with this one. You just ask it any questions you want to. What is the weather today?
In Shawnee, the forecast is for
you can also do something like, how am I looking on my steps? And there you go. So that's how many steps I did for today, which really isn't bad, considering I have a fever of 101, almost 102, but I'm still trying to put these videos out. And now back on to the Galaxy Z Fold 7, and more specifically, Samsung One UI 8, the latest version here. So when you take a look at a few applications, so let's take a look at weather. This one, they have everything a little bit smaller. They were able to place several things throughout the whole width of the phone. When you take a look over here, it's the opposite. So everything is as long as possible, taking up the whole entire screen, making you have to scroll just to find some stuff, to take a look at a few different details. So Samsung Weather has been improved, at least in my eye, because I don't have to have just like a whole line there and a whole line there. You just have everything all together. They're less wide, taking up less space. It's almost like you have this side of the phone over here and this side of the phone over here. That is how this one is set up. I'm glad that they're not taking each row and making you have to go down further. So again, they split it up as if the phone was two. So you have these details here, giving you everything you need to know, rather than going through this full entire list of everything being long and fat and having you go down further and further and further. Now let's take a look at gallery, because this is another update with Samsung One UI 8. And so you can see right here, I'm able to tap on the top left-hand side so I can read exactly what all of these icons mean. So once you know what all of these mean, like locations, recent, favorite, videos, stories, albums, you can just minimize that. Then you have all of your pictures over here. And again, you can still zoom in, zoom out. You can make those pictures a little bit bigger if you want to. Now in the older version of the gallery, you can see that all these little icons and stuff is towards the bottom, and there's not as many. So you have your pictures and albums, stories, and here's your menu that you can see favorites and videos and recent and clean out and locations and shared. So what they did was they kind of took all of this from this menu area over here, and then they were able to move it on the left-hand side, which is right over here. So I do like this setup quite a bit better. Let me know what you guys think of the newer gallery and weather. Now lastly, to close out this video, I did ask him about the trifold because I was curious about the trifold, and what he told me is that it will not come to the United States. It is a test market for China and South Korea. Now if it does well there, then it'll come to the United States. It's the same thing as the Galaxy Note 1. Even though the Note 1 was launched in the United States, it was only on AT&T carrier only. Once they found out that they sold a ton at AT&T and it was popular, then they released the Note 2 to all the carriers. So that means that the first original trifold will not come to the United States. It'll go to China and South Korea. But if it sells well, the United States will get the trifold second edition. Hopefully you guys have appreciated this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit subscribe. Subscribe to the very bottom left-hand side. And if you like this video, then more than likely you'll also like this video. And I'll see you guys later.